Hi, my name is Melody Ginn, and this is my Act Normal story. 13 years ago, my life was turned upside down when my husband of 17 years of marriage, I found out that he was having an affair. And when I confronted him, that day he abandoned me and my 4 girls and really didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have any way of supporting them, and I sewed for a ladies' dress shop on the side. And that week I had made $120 sewing. And I went to church that Sunday morning and wrote out my tithe check for $12. And I'll just be honest, I was almost embarrassed to write a $12 tithe check because our tithe checks had always, been larger. And the next morning, I was just spending time with God in my living room in my chair, and it was just overwhelming. And I stood up in my living room, and I remember just putting my hands up in the air and just saying, God, I can't do this. Within about 2 minutes of that prayer, my phone rang, and it was someone telling me that there was a circumstance where they owed us $1,200, and they were going to be sending me that check in the mail that week. God had taken that $12 and turned it into $1,200 just overnight. I continued to sew for the ladies' dress shop just to bring in extra money, and I want to start making veils. I think that would be neat, and I can, just really bless girls and be in their lives and stuff. So I began to make wedding veils, and I got my first phone call from a girl in New Jersey. She wanted to buy one of my veils, and I was jumping up and down in my office, literally jumping up and down saying, thank you, God, thank you, God. Well, during that time we were doing the building program, and Pastor Scott had prayed over my business, and he just prayed that God would just bring brides and that he would help me to sell lots of veils and everything. And well, it continued to grow, and I began to need to hire employees, so girls were coming to my house every day, and before too long we were shipping 60 to 70 veils worldwide every single week, and it was just crazy what God was doing. My team of girls kept encouraging me, saying, you need to just start a shop, you need to open a bridal shop. I kept saying no. So 2 years ago, we opened the doors of Emma's Bridal Boutique, and ever since we have really been looking for a ministry that we could really partner with. And a few weeks ago, Teresa Flores came to the Oaks and gave her testimony how she was a victim of teenage sex trafficking. At that moment, we realized that was the ministry that we could partner with, because that's what we do. We are girls serving women and girls. A couple days later, after I had seen her, I'd get a phone call from a church down the street called Trinity, who was planning an event for all of their women and girls, and they asked us would we come and be a part of that and do a fashion show. We went back and said, what do you guys think about us doing an auction and a sale where we could give 50% of our proceeds to Grace Haven and help them finish building this home to rescue girls out of teenage sex trafficking? And they were all for it. Now that it's all over and I look back and I see what God has done, I've realized it wasn't about the amount of money. It wasn't about what we could sell or auction or anything like that. Really, what it's all about is God just wants us to say yes. Now remember that my whole story started with just $12, and this is what he's done.